Cyberpunk Jordan.
Attention guests in the luggage claim area, welcome to the Jordania Volcano Hotel. A couple of quick reminders before you approach the elevator towards the lobby. Jordan's Soapbox is a show broadcasted on-site and supported via Patreon. If you would like to support what I do and not cause the country of Jordania economic ruin, consider supporting it for behind-the-scenes access and other rewards. It's recommended frequent visitors subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for updates whenever new videos are made. Do you want to hang out with your fellow guests? Consider jacking into the Cyberpunk Jordan Discord, where you can hang out with me and talk about Sonic and Sega stuff, among other things. And now, our elevator shaft will be departing for the lobby area. Thank you for your attention and enjoy your stay.
Hello my gummy bears, my name is Jordan, also known as CJ, and welcome back to Jordan's Soapbox, the show that talks about anything that I want to talk about. So after the events of Worlds Collide, Archie Sonic was never the same, as it adopted a new continuity commonly referred to as the post-Super Genesis wave, or post-SGW for short. It features a mix of old and new, at times even a combination of the two, characters, locations, and more. And I have a confession to make. I've made kind of a huge mistake with it. Older Jordan's Soapbox episodes might have led my audience to believe that I hated the post-SGW continuity, as if this was an abomination or something like that. In reality, I actually quite like the post-Super Genesis wave. I view it more in lines of different incarnations, with an example being Batman. There's been multiple incarnations of the character over the decades, with my personal favorite being the late Kevin Conroy and his turn as Batman in the animated series. That will always be my Batman and the one that I enjoy the most, but that doesn't mean I can't enjoy other incarnations of the character, such as Adam West in the 1960s series, or Michael Keaton in the 1989 Batman movie. I will always love that version of the franchise, but I'm not closed off to other interpretations. It's a similar concept with the post-Super Genesis wave. It's not the one that I read as a kid, nor is it the one that I like the most, mainly due to my own preferences. But that doesn't mean I don't like it, nor do I not want to talk about it. The one thing I love about the post-Super Genesis wave is that it's a reboot that was long overdue for this series. Reboots happen all the time in comics to allow new readers to jump aboard, but Sonic the Hedgehog never really had one until now. Soft reboots and retcons, sure, but never a full reboot like this. It was becoming more of an issue as current stories referenced stuff that hadn't even been republished most of the time, making it difficult for newer readers to jump aboard. Worlds Collide, due to decisions that I talked about last time, allowed itself to be an excellent gateway for newer readers of either Sonic or Mega Man, so why wouldn't you reboot the series to capitalize on that? I'm willing to even bet that some of my viewers likely started reading Archie Sonic around that time. If that's the case, that was not by accident. As difficult as it was to abandon the older continuity and favor the new one, especially with the many unsolved story threads, doing so allowed a more approachable and clean slate in regards to characters, locations, etc. that aren't beholden to what came before, which if you've watched even one episode of my show can be a hot mess. Another aspect I love about the post-Super Genesis wave is the more frequent integration of things from the video games and even other Sonic related media. I know, this seems kinda surprising for a title that's based on video games, but the pre-Super Genesis wave always had a weird relationship with them. It incorporated a lot of its elements in the 1990s with direct adaptations that would be canon to the ongoing storyline, but by the 2000s they mostly ceased to exist, replaced with In Another Time, in Another Place, or direct adaptations not canon to ongoing events in the book. While certain elements from the video games would be introduced, they would also be introduced in the most frustrating fashion. For example, Cream the Rabbit debuted in Sonic Advance 2 in 2002, but didn't debut in the comic until 2009-2010. Yikes. The post-Super Genesis wave, with minimal exceptions, returned back to the 1990s, where it would frequently adapt stories from the games but fit it within the original narrative they were crafting, making for some delightfully insane stories that take the best of stuff like Sonic Unleashed and Sonic the Fighters and run with it. It's overall a fun blend of video games and original characters that made me fall in love with the series to start with. The post-Super Genesis wave also improved some behind-the-scenes stuff, with one of the most notable being the focus on action-adventure rather than personal drama romance. It's something that I have said in the comment section of a Jordan Soapbox video, but romance soap opera-esque drama can work in Sonic, but the utterly terrible stories that we've been saddled with, yeah, pretty much turned off anybody from doing that for all eternity. Even IDW Sonic doesn't do it, and I don't blame them. So Sonic and Sally, for instance, are just friends, but you know what? That's kinda all we need. The focus should be on their adventures and not whether Sonic got slapped in the face in front of like a lot of people. Yes, this happened. Yes, I've said this a lot. I'm still angry over it. I don't want to be too specific with this video, as this is more of a general overview of my thoughts on the post-Super Genesis wave, but as much as I may not like it compared to the pre-Super Genesis wave, the post-Super Genesis wave is equally filled with stories both excellent and terrible. It's not something to completely avoid, but to explore and talk about. Eventually. Give it a couple months. But for now, I think we'll leave things here. And that's all for this episode of Jordan's Soapbox. If you must excuse me, it's time to talk about Ken Penders again.
Thank you for visiting the Jordania Volcano Hotel. We hope that you'll visit again soon. Before you leave, would you like something from our gift shop? Becca has the latest and totally not looted goods from all over the world. One item of note is the subscribe button, coming from the US state of California. It works best when you ring its bell and turn on notifications, so you don't miss an episode of Jordan's Soapbox. We also have a limited edition video that we also think you might like, and a collection of Jordan's Soapbox episodes in a playlist, all for the price of... wait a minute. Free? We're giving these out for free? Becca, we are bankrupt!